Michael J. Fox, the youngest cast member, ended up in handcuffs multiple times, and one actor raised $2 billion to fight a disease that's slowly killing him. Another actor formed a punk band and got arrested for unpaid debts. In 1989, 6 actors said goodbye to their hit show and hello to lives nobody saw coming. The truth about this beloved sitcom family is more shocking than fiction. In 1991, while filming Doc Hollywood, Fox felt a small tremor in his left pinky finger. It wasn't serious, but it didn't stop him from becoming a household name and winning 3 Emmys and a Golden Globe for his role as Alex P. Keaton. His career seemed to be taking off, and nobody could stop him. It was then that his life took an unexpected turn. Fox kept his illness a secret for 7 years, during which time many people, including some of his co-workers, were unaware of his condition. Despite this, he continued working as hard as ever, starring in films like For Love or Money and The American. However, doctors informed him at the age of 29 that he had young-onset Parkinson's disease, a serious illness that typically affected people much older. President and the Frighteners in 1996, he made a triumphant return to television in the hit series Spin City, playing the role of Deputy Mayor Mike Flirty. The role garnered him additional accolades, including an Emmy, 3 Golden Globes, and 2 Screen Actors Guild Awards. However, as the years went on, Fox's Parkinson's symptoms became increasingly difficult to conceal. In 1998, he decided it was time to go public with the news, shocking the world. Instead of avoiding the issue, he tackled it. Fox's candidness about his battles with depression and alcohol abuse after his diagnosis changed the way people talked about Parkinson's. Researchers now credit his advocacy for helping find new biomarkers and therapies. What started as a personal mission grew into something huge. The Foundation, which is the largest nonprofit funding research on Parkinson's, has raised over $2 billion since its launch and driven significant progress in finding new diagnostics and treatments. Parkinson's disease has been a constant source of pain for Fox, who has suffered severe injuries including broken bones in his shoulder, elbow, hand, and face as a result of losing his balance. He has also had infections and surgeries, making everyday life difficult. Fox now relies on aides to help him avoid further falls. "Honestly, I won't win at this. I will lose," he said, "but there's plenty to be gained in the fight." Unfortunately, Meredith Baxter's real life took a dramatic turn after the 1989 finale of Family Ties. In 1999, at the age of 52, Baxter received the devastating news that she had early-stage breast cancer. Just 5 years prior, she had portrayed a cancer patient on television. The loss of Baxter was a devastating blow to her reputation. Watching the movie, My Breast brought a flood of emotions flooding back to her. Initially, she was resistant to surgery, but after trying various diet changes and alternative healers without success, she finally caved. After her children pleaded with her to do the right thing, she underwent 2 lumpectomies, which effectively removed the cancer. At the same time, she had her breasts reduced, which brought her relief from years of unwanted attention and cruel remarks. Throughout it all, Baxter remained forthright about her experiences with cancer. While many women at the time chose to remain silent about the disease, Baxter encouraged other women to speak out about their health. Her candor didn't end there. In 2009, at the age of 62, she made an appearance on the Today Show and revealed a deeply personal truth. She had come to terms with her sexual orientation after 3 marriages to men. She referred to this realization as a late-in-life awakening, and it had only been 7 years. After years of self-discovery, she finally spoke out about the rumors that had been circulating since she was photographed on a lesbian cruise. Her 5 children were unsurprised, In fact, her eldest son even confessed, saying, "I knew when she told them." In 2013, she tied the knot with Nancy Lockett in a low-key ceremony in Los Angeles. It was Los Angeles' fourth wedding, but this one felt different. Lockett, a contractor, and Baxter had been together since 2005, and Baxter said that she finally understood the joy of marriage after being with Lockett. The relationship also helped her overcome her painful past, which she revealed in her 2011 memoir Untied, in which she accused her second husband, actor David Burney, of emotionally and physically abusing her. Burney denied the accusations. Despite her sobriety since 1990, Baxter continued to work throughout the 2000s. She made guest appearances on Cold Case and acted in TV movies and holiday specials off-screen. She became an advocate for causes close to her heart, speaking out for women's health based on her experience with cancer. Her coming out inspired many in the LGBTQ+ community. Justine Bateman was formerly famous for her role as the stylish sister on the popular sitcom Family Ties, which ran from 1982 to 1989. Bateman earned nominations for both the Emmy and the Golden Globe for her portrayal of the character. However, after the show ended, Hollywood struggled to view Bateman as anything other than Mallory, and her roles dried up, despite guest appearances on shows like Californication, Desperate Housewives, and Arrested Development. After years of dissatisfaction with her career, Bateman took a risk at the age of 46 and returned to UCLA in 2012, despite concerns that her GPA wasn't high enough. She enrolled in a computer science and digital media management program and graduated in 2016. Her goal now was to use her newfound knowledge to make a difference in the entertainment industry. In 2021, she directed her debut feature film Violet, which had its world premieres at South by Southwest in Toronto. The film starred Olivia Munn and Justin Theroux and earned. Her short film 5 Minutes had already won awards at the 2017 Toronto International Film Festival when Bateman's fame, The Hijacking of Reality, published in 2018, examined our fixation on the faces of celebrities. 1 Square Foot of Skin, published in 2021, bravely tackled the topics of aging and beauty standards, and both books were praised by critics for their bold style and psychological depth. Bateman has become a well-respected cultural voice thanks to her outspoken criticism of Hollywood. In an interview from 2023, she opened up about her struggle with self-esteem after searching for "looks old" at 42 years old. She explained that this experience taught her not to fight aging, but rather to embrace it, saying, "I like it." Bateman frequently criticizes the cosmetic surgery industry, stating that the desire to appear youthful at all costs erases the wisdom that comes with age. Along with Juliette Lewis and Matt Weiner, Tina Yothers, who played the astute Jennifer Keaton on Family Ties from 1989 until its cancellation, will help launch the Credo 23 Film Festival in Los Angeles in 2025. The festival will celebrate human creativity and reject AI-generated content. Yothers believes that AI steals other people's work and will push real artists aside unless someone speaks out. She began acting at the tender age of 3, but after considering her family's influence, she decided that Hollywood wasn't the right fit. Instead of pursuing more roles, she stepped away from the limelight and became a punk rocker in the early 1990s. She and her brother Corey formed the band Jaded, and they weren't just a hobby. They released an album and even toured with Menudo fans. It was a daring reinvention, but she still ran into problems. In November 2001, she failed to appear in court, and a Beverly Hills judge issued an arrest warrant for $20,000. The matter was a debt of over $7,000 to a public relations firm that had promoted her band. Even someone as grounded as her couldn't escape the traps of show business. Her jet black hair added to the drama. Tina continued to persevere even after the cameras stopped rolling. In 2006, she made an appearance on VH1's Celebrity Fit Club and lost 42 pounds, which was more than 21% of her body weight. Fans couldn't recognize her after such a drastic transformation. 6 years later, she became a celebrity wife swap trader with comedian N.I. Nash. The world witnessed a completely different Tina, who raised chickens on a small farm and kept up a steady diet of healthy eating. Tina had already established a peaceful life for herself by the time she married electrical contractor Robert Kaiser in 2002. In 2005, she became a stepmother to Kaiser's twin sons, and the couple had a daughter, Lily. Tina prioritized her family over fame, and she wrote a book called Being Your Best, a guide for girls written in the hopes of encouraging young women. Despite the strange twists and turns her life had taken, her dedication to personal growth and helping others had never wavered. When the series concluded in 1989, many assumed that Michael Gross would gradually fade from public view. After all, his portrayal of Stephen Keaton, the beloved liberal dad, had everyone in their corner. However, Gross's career took an unexpected turn, and he became one of the show's most versatile actors. The most surprising aspect of his career came in 1990, when he went straight from filming Family Ties to Tremors, playing the role of Bert Gummer, a paranoid gun-toting. He described himself as the luckiest man alive, describing the experience of being known by two generations, one for his role as a kind father, and the other for his role as a crazy gun lover in Tremors 3, Back to Perfection in 2001. The Survivalist was a significant departure from his previous work, which was a blend of horror and comedy. The cult hit Tremors had 7 films and a TV series, and Gross appeared in each one. Fans kept coming back to see him hunt monsters. In fact, it was so impressive that it garnered him the Video Premiere Award for Best Actor, a very unusual accolade for a direct-to-video film. But that wasn't the end of it. Gross went on to appear in a wide variety of shows, including ER, The Drew Carey Show, CSI, New York, How I Met Your Mother, and Boston Legal. He also appeared in films for television, co-starring with luminaries like Angela Lansbury, B. Davis, and Raquel Welch. Despite the prevalence of short-lived relationships in Hollywood, Gross has been married to casting director Ella Berserin since 1984. They raised 2 children together and kept their home life private. Gross is an amateur railroad historian and collector of railroad antiques. He has been the public face of the B&O Railroad Museum in Baltimore since 2009 and hosts their YouTube channel, where he shares his passion for trains with new audiences. Stable Gross comes from a long line of actors. His cousin Ron Massack is an actor, and his sister Mary Gross was on Saturday Night Live. His upbringing in Chicago was full of surprises. He even joined a gang while in high school, but he turned his life around, became senior class president, and earned an MFA from Yale. The strange and unpredictable trajectory of his career was mirrored by his personal transformation. Brian Bonsall was only 5 years old when, at the age of 36, he became an overnight sensation after joining Family Ties in 1986. Playing Andy Keaton, he won 3 Young Artist Awards and went on to star in Star Trek: The Next Generation from 1992 to 1994. In 1992, he portrayed the son of Alexander Renko Worf. The film Mikey, about a dangerous child, was so controversial that it was removed from UK shelves following the real-life murder of James Beaulieu. Despite this, Bonsall continued to work and became one of the most famous child actors of his time in 1994 with his appearance in Disney's Blank Check. However, he decided to leave Hollywood in 1995 at the tender age of 14. He and his family moved to Boulder, Colorado, where he finished high school in 2000. After that, music took center stage, and he formed punk bands such as Late Bloomers Thruster and The Light on Atom Stereo. On the surface, it appeared as though he had put his paw. However, Bonsall was also dealing with significant issues related to his substance abuse. From 2007 to 2010, he was arrested on numerous occasions for assault and drug violations. In 2009, he was charged with felony menacing and third-degree assault after hitting a friend with a broken stool. Instead of going to jail, the judge ordered him to undergo treatment and put him on probation, acknowledging that his addiction was the driving force behind his actions. However, his troubles extended beyond that in prison. In 2004, while serving time for a DUI, he met a fellow inmate named Nathan Lowe. After Lowe's release, he developed an unhealthy obsession with Bonsall. Lowe began to imitate Bonsall in shocking ways, copying his tattoos and posing as him to attract women. Over the course of 12 years, Lowe assaulted at least 7 women. In 2019, Lowe was sentenced to 274 years in prison. Bonsall has spoken about the guilt he feels for using Bonsall's fame and name to harm others, the girls he claimed to have been victims of Lowe's abuse. After reaching rock bottom in 2016, Bonsall's drinking and self-destruction took over his life. But then something clicked. He knew he might not survive if he didn't stop. He chose sobriety. In 2017, he married Courtney Tuck. 2 years later, they had a son named Oliver. Bonsall began a quiet new chapter, focusing on his family and occasionally releasing music. He was clean for nearly a decade by 2025. Mark Price, who was once known as Skippy, the awkward kid next door on Family Ties, went on an unexpectedly wild and surprising journey after the show ended in 1989. Instead of slowing down, he dove headfirst into a whole new world. Price had already bravely stepped into the horror genre in 1986 with his role as Eddie Ragman Weinbauer in Trick or Treat. These days, he mostly stays out of the spotlight, appearing only at fan conventions. This film, starring Ozzy Osbourne and Gene Simmons, is a cult classic that features heavy metal evil spirits and rock star cameos. Fans never forgot the story of a teenager named Skippy who becomes entangled in a supernatural nightmare. Even today, on Halloween 2024, Price makes appearances at horror conventions and even does live commentary at Chicago's I.O. Theater, where he discusses the film's production and his collaborations with the legendary musicians. After his Family Ties ended, Price continued to seek out new opportunities. Looking back, Price admits it was a mistake, especially knowing how much it could have boosted his career. However, he didn't stop pushing himself. He focused on stand-up comedy instead, performing with big names like Jay Leno and Jerry Seinfeld. He had a successful run hosting Disney Channel's game show Teen Win Lose or Draw from 1989 to 1992, during which time he became a familiar face to a new generation. In addition to his work on Seinfeld and tours with Weird Al Yankovic and Carrot Top, he became a regular at Harrah's Las Vegas for more than 15 years. A remarkable run for any comedian's budget. He then transitioned to producing shows for networks like Showtime, Disney Channel, Food Network, Animal Planet, and GCN. Among his notable credits is TBS Midnight Money Madness, which he oversaw as a producer. He also created Green Collar Comedy, an environmental comedy special for Showtime, and took over live venues. Despite being shut down during COVID-19, Price changed gears and kept entertaining fans with a daily 80s radio show on Row in Florida. By 2023, he had also become the face of the Insurance King and announced 2 new television projects. Even after decades in the business, Valentine continues to evolve. Best known as Nick Moore, the hilarious and goofy character from Family Ties, but his life outside of that role. His career took a surprising turn after the show ended, despite expectations that he would immediately jump into leading roles. While Family Ties was at its peak, NBC attempted to spin-offs based on his character, with the first one, Taking It Home, being canceled in 1986 due to the untimely death of co-star Herschel Bernardi. Another idea was to relocate Nick to New York for a buddy comedy, but it never got past the early stages. As a result of NBC's decision not to develop the third spin-off, The Art of Being Nick, which starred a young Julia Louis-Drake, into a full series, Valentine was left feeling frustrated and unsure of what to do next. His rise to fame had already been rocky. In 1981, he was hit and dragged by a truck, which left him recovering for 3 years. In 1984, he finally moved to Los Angeles. Was hell-bent on making it big. His part on Family Ties was supposed to be short, but fans went crazy for him, and he ended up becoming a regular. He joked about how he was paid well to mutter his way through most scenes, though. After Family Ties, Valentine made guest appearances on shows like CSI New York News Radio and JAG, and he even appeared in direct-to-video movies and fan favorites like My Demon. Beyond his voice work in Phantom 2040 and Lois and Clark, The New Adventures of Superman, Valentine produced television shows and ran his own production company. However, his most daring move came in 1999, when he ventured into the realm of real estate and finance as an independent banker and equity investor. His acting gigs slowed down, and he decided to take a seat behind the camera. His memorable roles include Lover and The Unborn 2. His career as a managing partner at Merritt Capital and his role as a director at Excelsior Capital Partners, a small firm focused on renewable and sustainable energy, were both unexpected turns for Valentine, who proved he could do more than just act. His personal life was not without its share of challenges. In 1985, he wed actress Kim Denise Stevenson, and the couple remained married for 15 years. Tracy Pollan was born on June 22, 1960, into a loving, close-knit Jewish family on Long Island, New York. She went to the Dalton School in Manhattan and received her acting training at the Lee Strasberg Institute. Valentine and Jennifer Wood were married nearly 10 years after Valentine's divorce in 2021. They had known each other from their hometown of Saratoga Springs. One of her major breaks came in 1985, when she was cast as Ellen Reed's, Alex P. Keaton, girlfriend on the hit show Family Ties. She co-starred with Michael J. Fox, and the chemistry between them was palpable. Fox even requested that the producers cast her in the role. However, they weren't officially a couple at the time, as they were both seeing other people. That all changed in 1987, when they reunited on the set of Bright Lights Big City. Sparks flew, and Fox proposed. They were married on December 26, 1987. 3 years later, at the age of 29, Fox was diagnosed with Parkinson's disease. He told Pollan the news, expecting her to panic, but instead, she whispered, "In sickness and in health." Fox has often said that the ceremony, which took place at the West Mountain Inn in Vermont on July 16, 1988, felt personal despite the presence of famous guests. She remained steadfastly by his side as his illness advanced, becoming his partner in rock. They are still together after more than 35 years. They have 4 children: Sam, born in 1989, twins Aquina and Skylar, born in 1995, and Esme, born in 2001. The family kept a low profile, rarely stepping into the spotlight except for brief public appearances, or Fox's 2023 documentary Still a Michael J. Fox Movie. Pollan continued her acting career, appearing in critically acclaimed shows like Behind the Scenes. She was a powerful force behind the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research, quietly raising over $1 billion for research, while making sure her family felt loved and grounded. She appeared in films like A Stranger Among Us in 1992 and more recently in Inventing Anna in 2022. The Pollen Family Table, 2014, and Mostly Plants, 2019, were best-selling cookbooks that she co-wrote with her family, drawing inspiration from a deep passion for health and tradition. Following a decade of success on Friends, which aired in over 100 countries and earned her and her co-stars $1 million per episode by the show's last 2 seasons, Cox and Fox relocated to Malibu in 2023, beginning a new chapter in their relationship. Cox had previously played Lauren Miller in the show's final seasons, but her true breakthrough came in 1994, when she became a household name. Earns over $20 million annually from reruns, and she became a horror icon playing Gale Weathers in the 1996 present Scream film franchise. Despite the franchise's penchant for chopping off characters, Cox's character managed to make it through each installment, including the upcoming Scream 7 in 2026. Off-screen, Cox married David Arquette in 1999, and the couple had a daughter. Coco, and Cox's 2004 pregnancy was the first of 8 for her. Despite this, they remained married until their 2013 divorce. They are still very much a part of each other's lives as co-parents. Coco's early experiences impacted her as well. Her parents' divorce left her feeling traumatized. Her father's regrets and her own relationship problems followed her into adulthood. Nevertheless, she persevered, pursuing friendships, starring in Cougar Town from 2009 to 2015, and earning a Golden Globe nomination. She has a background in both acting and creating high-end home care products. In 2022, she debuted her brand HomeCourt, which reflects her love of design and her passion for beauty. The products include a signature scent called Cece, which is inspired by her personal struggles. In 2014, she directed her own feature film Just Before I Go. More recently, she appeared in the 2022 horror comedy series Shining Vale, playing a troubled writer. Fragrance, and the entire brand is based on eco-friendliness and high-quality materials.